Welcome to the OSI brand's best practices when installing the OSI Quad window and door system for a flanged window removal and replacement. To remove a flanged window, first remove any screens or storm windows if necessary. Then cut or score the paint and sealant that may bridge the interior walls and trim. Next, remove the interior trim from the four sides of the window. Now for the exterior. Cut the sealant around the trim and window, and trim and siding joints. In this demonstration, the exterior trim has been removed to expose the wall surface. At least 3 inches of cladding must be removed around the exterior of the existing window so that you will have room to install the new flanged replacement window. If necessary, remove or cut any flashing covering the nail fins. Now remove the screws or nails holding the window in place. You may need to carefully pry the flange at the fasten locations to loosen. Finally, carefully remove the window from the outside. It's time to install the window. If present, cut the WRB away from the window opening 1 to 1 1/4 inches on each side and flush at the sill. If any WRB is present at the header, temporarily tape it out of the way. Now it's time to install the corner guards and sill flashing. Measure the depth of the window frame, but do not include the extension jamb. Measure the same distance on the sill, add 1/4 inch, and mark it with a pencil. This will show you where the interior edge of the flashing should be. Now create your corner guards by folding a 6 by 6 inch piece of flashing and cut it into the shape of an hourglass. Leave 1½ inches in the center. Then set the corner guards into the rough opening on both sides. It's important to note that preformed plastic corner guards may also be used. In addition, corner guards are not required in sill applications when you use OSI brand-approved flexible flashing tape. Next, center the flashing tape in the rough opening onto the sill, and extend it up each side jamb a minimum of 6 inches. Make relief cuts in the corners, and then fold the flashing onto the WRB. Use the J-roller to remove any air pockets. Next, set your shims on the sill, and then set a level on top, bridging the shims. The OSI brand recommends the use of non-water degradable composite, plastic, or PVC shims instead of the wedge-shaped wood shims. Once they are level, seal the shims onto the sill using OSI QUAD MAX sealant. Always follow shim instruction and positioning from the window manufacturer's guidelines. The OSI Quad window and door system uses a specific method of applying sealant to the window's fin that provides a gasket to seal out water. To accomplish this, apply a continuous 3/8 inch rounded bead of OSI Quad MAX to the back side of the side and head flanges of the window. It is critical to cover the pre-punched holes with OSI Quad MAX to provide a reliable seal at these penetrations. Then, apply a discontinuous bead on the bottom flange, leaving a minimum of a 2-inch gap at each corner and every 6 to 8 inches. This provides a way for any water or moisture to drain to the exterior drainage surface. If you are installing a window with a non-integral fin, apply a fillet bead to the joint between the fin and the window frame. Now, center the window in the rough opening on the shims. Then check the window for level, plumb, and square. You are ready to fasten the window using the manufacturer's installation instructions. During this process, continue to make sure the window operates smoothly. Remember to tool any bulging sealant flat so it doesn't interfere with future cladding installation. Next, apply the flashing tape tightly to the side flanges and wall. Then, apply the flashing tape over the head flange of the window and onto the wall, extending it a few inches past the side of the window. remove the temporary tape from the WRB at the header, and apply flashing tape over the two 45-degree cuts. Use the J-roller to remove any air pockets. Finally, you're ready to apply the OSI Quad foam to the interior. First, shake the can 15 to 20 times. Then screw the can to the applicator gun and open the valve. And you're ready. Apply the foam into the gaps between the window and the framing at the head and side jambs. The OSI Quad foam locks out air and water and won't bow or deform the window frame. When applying the foam to the sill, make sure you leave an air gap between the window fin and the foam to allow for drainage. A backer rod can be used to maintain this gap. Be sure to apply a continuous seal with no exposed shims or gaps. After 25 to 35 minutes, trim off the excess with a sharp knife. This cut time can vary depending on the temperature, humidity, and depth of the foam applied. Once you've reinstalled your interior trim, use OSI QUAD MAX for finishing. Finally, install the new trim or cladding on the exterior according to the manufacturer's instructions, and apply OSI QUAD MAX as a finishing sealant. OSI QUAD MAX is perfectly color matched to all primary building materials. If you are installing a mulled window, you are required to use rigid head flashing. First, apply OSI QUAD MAX as a bedding sealant to the upturned leg and to the bottom of the rigid head flashing. Set it in place and secure it with fasteners. Then use OSI QUAD MAX to seal over the fasteners. Next, apply a final layer of flashing tape that covers the upturned leg of the rigid head flashing and the sheathing. Again, use the J-roller to remove any air pockets. If you are installing a radius window, you have two flashing options. You can apply one piece of flex flashing tape or apply pieces of straight flashing tape. Here we will be demonstrating the pieces of straight flashing tape method. Cut each piece of flashing tape 10 to 12 inches in length. The lengths may vary depending on the size and shape of the window. Starting at the bottom corners of the radius window, secure a piece of flashing tape tightly to both the flange and the sheathing. It is best to apply a piece to one side and then a piece to the other, taking turns on each side as you work your way up. Start applying each piece up in a shingle fashion, overlapping each lower piece by at least 1 inch. Finally, place the last piece of flashing tape at the top of the window, overlapping the pieces from both sides by at least 1 inch as they come together at the top of the rough opening. Again, use the J-roller to remove any air pockets. If you would like to become an OSI certified installer using the OSI Quad window and door system, visit ositough.com.